Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Real Estate 401k Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage and MLS number 625918.
Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick from the Frederick team at Fairway Independent Mortgage. Today we are down a man. Ryan is out and about doing whatever Ryan does when he's out and about. Not sure exactly what that means.
I'm sure he's out there trying to drum up some business.
Or play golf.
Or play golf.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say
good.
this. Every time I play golf with him, we're drumming up business. So
Yeah,
I let him golf all the time. Well, I know, Justin, you are on the mortgage side of things, and obviously Ryan and I are on the real estate side of things, and I'm not here to complain about our job or anything like that. I think we got a great job, but I've had my license for 22 years now, and the evolution of real estate is just ongoing, and especially in the area of disclosure. There are so many things, there's so many nuances to the things that sellers and buyers need to disclose to one another, which we are required to disclose. And there's a lot of items that are just off limits. And, to give you an example, if a buyer says, "Hey, I'm thinking about this neighborhood. What do you think about the neighborhood? What's the percentage of taking a look at racial lines,
Careful, buddy.
and is in higher crime rates and things like that."
Sure.
And those are things that we are taught that we stay away. There are websites that I can point you to that you can do your own research, because we cannot be in a position where we are trying to steer people from certain areas based on our own prejudices and so forth. So we got to stay away from that. And years ago, there is a law that went into effect, SB 1581. And to me, this makes sense. If I sell your house and I list your house, I need to put onto the paperwork, I need to talk about school districts. This house is in this particular school district. You can expect your kid to go to this elementary school, this middle school, and this high school. Now, a group of lawmakers, and this is where it's gone crazy, a group of lawmakers have gotten together and they are trying to now liken this new law that they're trying to pass with SB 1581, and they now want us as licensed real estate agents to disclose, if you're looking at a specific property, what type of political affiliation might that neighborhood have? Like, what district would they be in? Would their congressman, and it's more importantly on the local effort. Local state politicians, are they more on the Republican side? Are they more on the Democrat side? I'm like, one, I think that's asinine to expect me to provide that information, but two, to liken it with the same thing as trying to figure out where my kid is going to school.
I think it's absolutely crazy because the greatest part about our democracy is that can change. We the people get to choose, and you may move in, and it may be, I'm not one side or the other with this, but if you have a Republican in there right now, that may change. So, what is that going to do for you anyways? Now they're trying to have somebody represent them by being in this neighborhood, correct?
That's a great point, because it's every couple of years we change politicians, right? And so I may sell you a house in this neighborhood, and you want this politician to represent that district, and that politician is a Democrat, maybe, and we are not taking any kind of political stances right here,
right?
But
we're just having a conversation.
And then 2 years, next thing you know, there is a Republican in-house holding that seat, and then what happens? You going to come after me?
No, you're going to come after me.
If you want to move, I'll help you sell your house. Cool. But are you going to come after me because now all of a sudden the political landscape changed in that neighborhood?
What if you're moving in expecting a person to win, and they don't win? They're definitely coming after you.
And going back to the whole school district thing, like when I disclose, and again, I can't tell you, it is completely two different things. But when I'm helping you buy a house and I hand you the MLS sheet, it's basically telling you what school you could expect your kids to go to. There is nothing in there, and I have no responsibility whatsoever, nor would I take it on to tell you what kind of school it is. Where does it rank as far as in awards and educations?
Yeah.
My job is just to tell you here's what it is, and if that's really that important to you,
You do the research.
you do
right?
the research, because that's something that I should not be helping direct and influence your decision to buy a house based on what type of school your kid might go to. And the same thing I feel like with the political world.
I agree on that as well. And I feel like it would be very difficult to try to place point some of these, because depending on the districts they're all over the place, right?
All over the place. And they're changing
All the time, right?
all the time.
So how can they place that on you?
All right. Well, I'll say this though. I say all that, and we have access to some really cool information that we derive really from the national census, and so we can actually give people. I can provide you with a link. I can provide you with detailed information that you would normally get from the Census Bureau, so you can take a look at different neighborhoods if certain things are important to you, or if you're looking for links to look up specific neighborhoods, we can do that to you. So if you're moving to Arizona or moving to a different part of Arizona and you would love to maybe take a look at what some of the demographics are in certain neighborhoods, all you got to do is text the word area to 623-AZ-RECON. That's area to 623-AZ-RECON. Here's the other challenge that I have with this. I have spent many years in political talk radio, as you know. And in political talk radio, we are trained and paid to take a stance. And so, and it's very, you know, we wear our political affinity on our sleeves because that's just what we did.
Yeah.
In business and in real estate, we try to stay away from that as much as possible, because if you're investing in real estate and you're wanting to create wealth in real estate, I really don't care what side of the aisle you're on, and you shouldn't really care what side of the aisle I'm on. So you could go through years and years of posts on my Facebook page, and you'll know where my favorite burger joint is,
No,
where I like to eat, but you'll never know
course.
of who I voted for president or whatever the case is, because that's not my job. I don't see how, like, if I now have to disclose and now start having to have conversations, it could hurt my business if I'm having to
100%.
get into politics now.
Because it will bring it up. It will open a window or open a door for somebody to start asking you questions, and maybe they don't like what you have to say. I mean, I feel like you would do a good job of dancing around the question and staying away from that. But I can't imagine what some people would get into, and that could cause some issues, I feel like.
Yeah, because if I get a pointed question, I'm not going to lie. You know, and next thing you know, I don't want to leave money on the table because I'm on one side of the aisle and the other person on the aisle hates people on my side of the aisle, or vice versa.
But at the end of the day, people hire you because of what you know, and they're trying to build wealth through real estate, and that's what you're paid to do, right? That's what you're hired to do. There should have no affiliation with the political parties within your conversations. If they want to do that research, they should do that research.
Well, dude, I didn't know where else to take this conversation, but dude, you just put the ball in the tee for me.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what we get paid to do, why people hire us. And I would say this across the board. When you're hiring a real estate professional, and of course on our team, everybody knows we refer to ourselves as real estate wealth managers, there are certain things that you are hiring for. And you on the lending side, there are certain things that you are hiring for. And these are some of the things that you need to consider, and know that whomever you're going to engage in their services, whether they check those boxes. And for you, I was talking with, oh man, it was one of our clients, one of our mutual clients. We had sent one of our investors to you, and so I was with them a couple of weeks ago, And they said, one of the things besides your systems, they said working with Justin was far best, the best experience we've ever had with a lender. But because we are trying to create wealth in real estate, Justin's vernacular, he didn't use that word, but I'm excited that I could pronounce that word.
Yeah, that was
right?
pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I'm impressed.
And that he felt like that he was talking to somebody who understood what their goals were. Your knowledge of programs out there and creativity, not every lender can bring that to the table. And the magic that you're able to do, the things that you're able to accomplish for our clients, I can't imagine making politics part of that decision-making process.
I can't imagine involving it either. It's, I mean, I'm sure you've had it too. I've definitely had clients come in and express their political views to me. And whether I agree with them or not, I really just avoid it because it's not my job. So I try to stay away from those. And I'm always trying to make connections with my clients, but that's not one of those areas where I'm really going to get into, because even if I was on the same side, I could have different views within that same side, right? So I always try to avoid that. My dad taught me real well. He's like, politics, religion, stay away from them, son. Save those for your friends and family, kind of thing.
Well, I think at the end of the day, the question that we always ask is do you like money? If I could take what you have and help you build a legacy of wealth from what you have, a legacy of wealth where you can retire one day, does it matter who I vote for? Does it matter what my political affiliation is? Because for me, my money, my wealth, and I throw in my family into that because they are directly impacted by that, crosses all political lines. I'll say this about politics. I shouldn't say it. When I am voting for a president, I'm looking at who is going to best serve my personal economy.
That's what most people do.
Because I can't, and for you to think anything different, I think it's foolish because the government is not going to be there to pay for us. They're not going to be paying for our retirement. And so that's just kind of how I roll.
I mean, I could go off on that quite a bit there too, but I'm going to stay away from it. I'm just talking about things that we've seen in the recent past, and you're 100% right. But I'm going to stay away from that conversation. I love talking about it sometimes at home, but.
All right. Well, if you are looking for information about a specific area in Phoenix, we can give you a treasure trove of information, whether it comes down to demographics and median incomes and what's going on in that area, to school districts, or you're just looking to build that strategy to build personal wealth through real estate. All you got to do is text the word area to 623-AZ-RECON. That's area to 623-AZ-RECON. And then, Justin, I'd just say for our side, on the real estate side, I tell people this all the time. You do not have to like me. You do not hire me, or you don't hire our team because we're good people. We got great personalities. You hire us because we know opportunities, we know numbers, and we know how to negotiate. It's just like being in war. I shouldn't equate it. I've never been in war. But if I was going to battle with someone and victory was dependent on the men and women that I'm fighting alongside, what do I care about? Do I care about how they vote? Do I care about what they look like? No, I care about I don't even have to like them. I care about their skills. Can they help me get to victory?
Yeah, I'm going to find
that
a
might
bunch
have been
of
a
Navy
little
SEALs.
deep. I'm not. I don't. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't care. You're a Navy SEAL. You're on my team. Thank you. I'll be behind you.
Well, we'd love to help you build your strategy to building personal wealth through real estate. All you got to do is text the word area to 623-AZ-RECON. That's area to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623 AZ Recon.